Hello everyone, my name is Lillian and I'm going to be your teacher for today. So, today we'll be talking about English idioms. Idioms we use in English language. We're going to talk about how to understand them, when to use them, and in what cases specifically. So, let's start. What are idioms? What are idioms? Idioms are expressions that cannot be understood from the meaning of its separate words but must be learned as a whole expression. So that is usually the very first question. What are idioms? The first and foremost question in every case. What are they? So, the expressions that cannot be understood from the meaning of its separate words but must be learned as a whole expression. So for instance, it's raining cats and dogs. It's raining cats and dogs outside. So that, as you can see, it's not literal, it's figurative. So now it's not literally raining cats and dogs, but it's figuratively raining cats and dogs. It means you don't go on the street and then dogs and cats are falling from heaven and coming down. No. When we say it is raining cats and dogs, it would mean it is raining heavily outside. It is raining heavily. Okay? Great. So as you know, you need to understand the whole expression when we're talking about idioms, not just random words that make up the idiom. You need to understand the whole expression. Next one. The best way to understand an idiom is to see it in context. Next one. Most idioms are fixed in their form and cannot be changed or varied. They are fixed. Like this first example we made, it's raining cats and dogs. We cannot say it's raining tigers and dogs. Or we cannot say it's raining elephants and dogs. Or we cannot say it's raining cats and monkeys. Or we cannot say it's raining cats and donkeys. No, the form remains the same. It is fixed. It never changes. The idioms, most of them are fixed in their form and cannot be changed or varied. Very good. Next one. As it could be difficult to work out what an idiom means, you will need often to look them up in the dictionary. So, it could be difficult. So, I think now we've got about 25,000 idioms in use in English language. So, you see that's quite a lot. And honestly, not everyone knows everything. So, no one is an island of knowledge. So, no one actually knows everything. So, sometimes you need to consult your dictionary to check, to be sure that you're on the right track. Because yes, 25,000 idioms, that is a whole lot. And we might just not be able to remember them all. So using your dictionary is perfectly fine and okay. So, the next question after what is why? Why exactly do we learn idioms? Why do we need them? Why do we have to learn them? Why do we have to master them? Why do we have to know them? Okay, first and foremost, to improve our level of English. So you don't want to say, oh, it's raining heavily. You could say, it's raining cats and dogs. See? You don't want to constantly say the same thing over and over. It's raining heavily. You could say it's raining cats and dogs. You don't want to say, oh, I'm out of money. You want to say, I am broke. So this is an example of an idiom that is fixed in its form. We can never say, I am break, or I am broken, or I'll break. No, we always say, I am broke. I was broke last week. It means I was without money last week. But now I just got paid my salary. I just received my salary. I think if I keep spending like this, I'll get broke soon. I think if I continue spending like this, I'll get broke soon. So we don't change the form. Although it looks like break and then broke is the past form, it stays the same when it's an idiom. Very good. And also we learn idioms so we could understand native speakers. We learn them so we could understand native speakers. Very good. Now, next part. Types of idioms. Okay. Some idioms are quite imaginative expressions such as proverbs and sayings. Imaginative expressions, quite, you imagine it. You picture it in your head. So, too many cooks spoil the broth. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Next one. Other idioms are short expressions that are used for particular purpose. Get lost. Get away from me. That's what it means. Get lost. So, for instance, your sister comes into your room. She's disturbing you, jumping on your bed, and you're trying so hard to finish up your homework. So you could say, Mary, get lost. It means leave here. Go do something else. I don't care what you do. Just don't disturb me. Get out of my room. Get lost. Okay, very good. Next one. Some are considered as idioms because their forms are fixed. And the last one, similes. White like a chalk. White like a chalk. So for instance, she's as white as snow. She's as white as snow. She's as white as snow. Similes. So, now let's talk about some idioms. Everyday idioms that we are going to need. Yes, pretty much phrases and expressions we use daily, but we do not know the idioms. Now we are going to learn them and try to use them. So, first one, he spilled the beans. He spilled the beans. To spill the beans. To spill the beans. Okay. To spill the beans. What do we think it means? Okay. To spill the beans. So, yes, here it means to reveal a secret. To reveal a secret. To reveal. To show people. So a secret is supposed to be hidden. It should be quiet. Nobody else should know. But when you reveal it, it's out. Everybody knows about it. Everybody knows about it. So, an example. The police have been trying to make the criminal spill the beans about his plans. They've been trying to make the criminal spill the beans about his plans. So they've been trying to make him reveal his secrets. Or the bad things he's done, or perhaps future plans. Perhaps this criminal is a murderer or a robber or a thief. Robber or thief. So maybe he has a plan to steal from a bank. So we could say the police were trying to get him to spill the beans about his plans. So for instance, let me give you a real life example. So, let's say next week is my birthday and my sister is trying to organize a surprise birthday for me. A surprise birthday. But her husband came to me and said, or he comes to me and says, "Hi Tala, oh hi Lillian, did you know your sister is organizing a birthday party for you?" And I say, "Well, no, I didn't know. This is news for me." Then I go to my sister's apartment and I tell her, "Oh, I heard you are organizing a birthday party for me, a surprise birthday party for me." And she says, "Who spilled the beans? Who told you?" That's what it means. Who told you this special secret of mine? Who told you about this surprise party? Okay, and I could say, well, your husband spilled the beans. Your husband spilled the beans. So, clear, very good. he spilled the beans. 2. Reveal a secret. Do we understand that? Okay, very good. So we'll move on to the next part. As we can see, he told the secret. It is raining cats and dogs. It is raining cats and dogs. It is raining cats and dogs. As we said, or as we've said, it's not literal. It's figurative. So we don't mean cats and dogs are literally falling from the skies on us. No, it's figuratively. So it's raining cats and dogs. It means it is raining heavily. For instance, in autumn, I think specifically on the 29th of September, it rained cats and dogs. It rained cats and dogs. So I could say, instead of saying, "Oh, Mom, it's raining heavily outside," I could say, "Oh, Mom, it's raining cats and dogs." Very good. Very good. Next one. We were in stitches. We were in stitches. Okay. To stitch. To stitch. Do we know what that is? Anybody? Okay. Okay. To stitch something. It's so we have a needle and we have thread. It's a method of sewing, knitting or crocheting, producing a particular pattern or design. A method of sewing, knitting or crocheting, producing a particular pattern or design. So we were in stitches. Not literal, figurative. Figurative. Exactly. We were laughing very hard. As you can see, we were laughing very hard. So perhaps my brother tells me, or he told me in the past, a very funny story. And I could say, "Oh, when Michael told me this story, I was in stitches. I laughed very hard, like them." Exactly. We were in stitches. See? Okay. So for instance, when someone tickles you, of course, you're in stitches because you just keep laughing uncontrollably. Okay, very good. Next one. This cost an arm and a leg. This costs an arm and a leg. When something costs an arm and a leg, it means it is expensive. It means it is expensive. It means it's too much money. You have to spend too much money purchasing or buying this thing. So for instance, sweet bike. Let's look at the photo. Sweet bike. Thanks. It cost me an arm and a leg. It means it was quite expensive. It wasn't cheap. So for instance, if I want to buy a flat in Moscow, it will cost me an arm and a leg because it is expensive. Is it clear? It is expensive. It's not cheap. So for instance, this car is my baby. This car, my Mercedes, is my baby because it cost me an arm and a leg. It was expensive. Okay, very good. Exactly. Okay. Next one. Go fly a kite. So what this boy is holding is called a kite. It's called a kite. Kite. Go fly a kite. It means go away. Shoo. Go away. Go do something with your life. Go do something productive. Go fly a kite. Do we understand it? Okay, it means go fly a kite, so just go away. Okay, very good. Okay. Oh yeah, also go fly a kite. Just go away. Go do something worthwhile. Go do something productive. So for instance, somebody comes to your room and is disturbing you and you just say, "Go fly a kite. Go do something productive with your life. Don't disturb me. Go away." Very good. Next one, she was dressed to kill. She was dressed to kill. Like I said, it's not literal. Not she was dressed to go kill somebody and the person dies. No. She was dressed to kill. It's figurative. Okay, it means she was. Yes, it means she was dressed in her finest clothing. She was dressed in her best attire. She was dressed in her best clothing. She was looking absolutely stunning. She was looking incredible. She was looking magnificent. She perhaps looks like a queen. She looks really wonderful. She looks beautiful. Okay, so she was dressed in her finest clothing. So for instance, let's make an example. Let's come up with something. Oh, for instance, last night at the party, our hostess was dressed to kill. Last night at the party, our hostess was dressed to kill. Or for instance, you're going to a party with your friend, but she comes late. So she comes late to the car, and you say, "Oh, no wonder you're late. You're dressed to kill." You're dressed to kill. Okay. So next one. I'm at the end of my rope. This is a rope. So a rope. This is a rope, as you can see, and this is the end, the loose end of the rope. So I'm at the end of my rope. It means I am so frustrated. I am super frustrated. So it means I've been trying something for a long time and it's not working out. I am just so frustrated. Do we understand it? Okay. So, to be at the end of one's rope, it means for someone to be so frustrated. So for instance, let me give you an example. All day today, I was working on a project for about 7 hours and I made absolutely no progress. Absolutely no progress. And at some point, I felt I was at the end of my rope because I was feeling so frustrated. I had a deadline. I just couldn't make anything work. So at that point in time, I was at the end of my rope and I was tired, sad, and frustrated. Do we understand it? Good, very good. At the end of your rope. So, try to think of your own examples. End of my rope meaning. Okay, very good. So, let's see. For instance, let's say you're tired of listening to someone say certain things too much or doing some terrible things to you. You cannot deal with this problem or situation or difficulty anymore. So you could say, I am tired with your constant, perhaps, manners of life. Or for instance, I've been dealing with your lies for too long and I am at the end of my rope. It means I am frustrated with it. I want no more of it. Okay? So for instance, your son has been skipping school. So I could say, or you could say, I am tired, or I have seen enough of your insolent behavior. I'm at the end of my rope. I have seen enough of your insolent behavior, and I have had enough. So I am at the end of my rope. I'm at the end of my rope. Very good. So next one, to bite the bullet. Bite the bullet. A bullet. This is a bullet, as we can see. It's what comes out of a gun. When you shoot a gun, the bullet comes out. See? It hurts people. Bullet. You have to bite the bullet. It means you need to put up with a difficult situation. To bite the bullet means to put up with a difficult situation that you've been putting off or hesitating over. You've been putting up or hesitating over. So for example, you have a phobia. I'm sorry, excuse me. Okay. Okay, so for instance, you have a phobia. You have a phobia for flying. So you're scared of flying. You're scared of aeroplanes. You're scared of helicopters. You're scared of everything that moves in the air. You're scared of everything because you have a phobia. But you got a job. It's in hours or across the continent. You got a job across the continent. So for instance, you live in Moscow and then you got a job in Australia, in Sydney. You got a job in Sydney, in Australia. Now you need to fly there. So your mom could say, well, Michael, you need to bite the bullet. You have to bite the bullet. You have got to bite the bullet. It means you have to decide to do something difficult for you instead of hesitating or putting it off. Instead of hesitating. So don't hesitate anymore. Jump on the plane and just move. Jump on the plane and just fly to Melbourne or Sydney. Is it clear? You have to bite the bullet. So, for instance, a company is downsizing. So, for instance, a company became broke due to coronavirus, and then the director had to bite the bullet. It means, in this case, perhaps he had to fire some workers because the company could not afford to pay them anymore. So, in this case, he had to decide to do something difficult, even though he's hesitating over it. But now, he has no choice. So, decisions have to be taken, and as the director of the company, you've got to bite the bullet. You've got to take decisions. So, do we understand it? You have to make a decision, make a choice. Okay? Very good. Next one. Teachers always stick to their guns. Teachers always stick to their guns. To stick to one's guns, as we can see, first of all, we have a photo of a gun. A gun, we use it to shoot, and the bullet, like we spoke about earlier. This is a bullet. This is a bullet. It comes out of a gun, and then the next, as you can see, the action, it goes. See? Exactly. Okay. So, a gun. So teachers always stick to their they always stick to their guns. So it means they never change or compromise their ideas or change their opinions despite criticism. So no matter what you say to them, no matter what you try to tell them, they always stick to their guns. So for instance, your man or your father, for instance, there is a dad somewhere, and then his 18-year-old daughter, 18-year-old daughter asks him for a car. So his 18-year-old daughter asks him for a car. She asks him for a car. And then he says, unfortunately, I do not think you need a car. But the girl's mom, the girl's grandparents, and everybody else in the family thinks the girl needs a car. But the father says, unfortunately, everybody knows I always stick to my guns. So, I'm sorry, young lady, you're not getting a car. It means he's not going to change his opinion despite criticism from his family, from everybody around him, telling him he needs to buy the girl a car. Is it clear? Teachers always stick to their own guns. Very good. They never change their opinions about something. Good. Oh, I'm sorry. This is an error. This is a mistake. Let's move into the next part. Very good. Next. Okay. So, now, let's talk about common idiomatic phrases and expressions. Common idiomatic phrases and expressions. Idioms and the meanings. So, we have it in an almost tabular form. So, we have idioms on the left side of the page, and we have meanings on the right side. So, number 1, a penny for your thought, is corresponding to the first meaning. This idiom is used as a way of asking someone what they're thinking about. A penny for your thought. We use this particular idiom to ask someone what they are thinking about at a point in time. What are you thinking about? So, I need to know what you're thinking about. So I say a penny for your thought. So, for example, my best friend's name is Michael and I am in my car driving downtown and Michael is sitting in the passenger seat. I am driving downtown in my car and Michael is sitting in my passenger seat. Michael is an extrovert, is outgoing and is sociable. Is an extrovert, is outgoing and is sociable. But for some weird reason today is unusually quiet. Is unusually quiet. So I could say, Michael, why are you so quiet today? A penny for your thoughts? So, I want to know what he's thinking. What is going on in his mind? What is he thinking in his head? Why is he so quiet? It's unusual. Okay? So, a penny for your thoughts. Or perhaps Michael is just sitting and he's just looking and he's just staring at something. And I can see that Michael is thinking deeply about something. I could say, Michael, what's up? A penny for your thoughts. So, tell me what you're thinking about. Next one. Add insult to injury. Add insult to injury. To make a bad situation even worse. So the situation is already bad. We have established the fact that the situation is bad. Now, add insult to injury. It means to make the situation even worse. So, let's give an example. So, on a Monday morning, on a good Monday morning, I am already late for work. Already late for work. Then I get stuck in traffic, and to add salt to injury, the police stops me for speeding. Do we get it? So, on a Monday morning, 9 a.m., okay, I am already late because I woke up late and my car had some problems. Then on the way to work, I got stuck in traffic, and then about 30 minutes later, the police stopped me for speeding. So, I was already late. It was already a bad day because I'm late for work. It's Monday morning. There's a whole lot of traffic. There's lots of traffic. And then eventually again, to add insult to injury, now the police stops me for speeding. Do we get it? See, very good. So for instance, another scenario for a kid at school. So, exams period. Oh, this student already failed mathematics, physics and chemistry exam. And to add insult to injury, he failed physical education. He failed physical education. To add insult to injury. To make an already bad situation even worse. It's bad. My situation is bad. Now, to add insult to injury just makes it worse. Do we get it? Very good. Next one. Once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon. When something happens very rarely. Once in a blue moon. When something happens very rarely. Do we understand it? Okay, for instance, I travel to Australia once in a blue moon. I travel to Australia once in a blue moon. It means I do it very rarely. Very, like it's rare for me to do it. Okay, so normally, well, blue moons come only about every 2 or 3 years. So, for instance, the next time we would get 2 blue moons in a year is the year 2037. This is 2020, 2037. So normally, in our daily lives, blue moons come only about every 2 or 3 years. And in 2018, unusually, we had 2 blue moons in 1 year. So the point is, when something happens in a blue moon, maybe once in a blue moon, it happens really rarely, very rarely. Okay, so I traveled to Australia once in a blue moon. So maybe I haven't traveled to Australia in the past 1 year. and I do it, let's say, once in 2 years, once in 3 years. Okay, do we get it? Once in a blue moon, I visit my grandmother in Moscow, for instance. Once in a blue moon, I visit my grandmother in Moscow. Once in a blue moon, I go to St. Petersburg. Once in a blue moon, I'll go to St. Petersburg. Do we understand it? Very good. Next one, to see eye to eye. To see eye to eye. Okay, it's an idiom which is used to say two or more people agree on something. Two or more people agree on something. So for instance, I never see eye to eye with my mother. I never see eye to eye with my mother. So it means we never agree on the same thing. Never. Do we get it? Is there anyone like that here? Okay. I never see eye to eye with my mother. So for instance, at work, you're working on a new project with a new team, and then every time during your brainstorming sessions, you never see eye to eye with your supervisor or your boss. It means if your boss says A, you think it's B. So if your boss thinks, oh, let's do A, you think, oh no, let's do B. So you never agree on the same thing. Is it clear? You never see eye to eye. Do you understand that? I never see eye to eye with my sister. That's why we don't have a good relationship. I never see eye to eye with my brother. That's why we don't get on well. That's why we don't get on well to have a good relationship. So, very good. Do we understand it? Okay. Next one. To hear something on the grapevine. To hear something on the grapevine. Okay, so for instance, it means to hear a rumor. To hear a rumor. Do we know what a rumor is? Anybody? Okay, let's see. Okay, so a rumor is it's a currently circulating story or report of uncertain truth. You're not sure. There's no fact. You don't have facts to back it up. You're not sure if it's true or if it's not. It's just something people are saying. It's just a story. You're not sure if they are right. So it's a rumor. So for instance, somebody comes to me and says, "Hi Lillian, I heard you're getting married next week." And I say, "Really? Where did you hear that from?" And the person tells me, "Well, I heard it on the grapevine. So tell me, is that true?" And I say, No, it's just a rumor. I'm not getting married yet. Do we understand it? To hear something on the grapevine. Very good. Very good. It means to hear a rumor about something or someone. So for instance, okay, so I heard it on the grapevine that tigers are extinct. You heard a rumor about tigers being extinct. Do we get it? So it's not true. It's just a rumor. Because it's baseless fact. No information. It's just baseless information. I beg your pardon? Baseless information. No fact. Okay. Very good. Next one. And the last one in this series of ours. In this series of ours, this is the last one. To miss the boat. To miss the boat. This idiom is used to say that someone missed his or her chance at something. Someone missed his or her chance at something. So for instance, let me give you an example. My older brother is in love with my best friend. My older brother is in love with my best friend. But my best friend started dating someone last week. But my best friend started dating someone last week. So I could say to my brother, "Oh, I'm sorry, big brother, you just missed that boat." "I'm sorry, big brother, you missed that boat." Which means, I'm sorry, but she's already dating someone, so unfortunately she cannot date you now. It means you missed your chance. Do we get it? Okay. Very good. You missed your chance at something. Okay, very good. Do we have any questions? No. Okay. Okay, if we do, of course, you can always drop them. Okay, so we have come to the end of this short presentation about idioms. Okay, so let's try to go over them quickly again. 1 second, please. Let's go over the idioms again one more time before we call it quit. Okay, so first one is spill the beans. To reveal a secret. To reveal a secret. It's raining cats and dogs. It's raining heavily. Next one, we went stitches. As we can see, it's quite funny. Exactly. We were laughing very hard. Okay. This cost an arm and a leg. It means it is quite expensive. It is expensive. Go fly a kite. Go do something else. Go away. Go do something with your time. Don't disturb me. She was dressed to kill. She was dressed in her finest clothing. Beautiful. Magnificent. Incredible. Okay? I'm at the end of my rope. I'm really frustrated. I am so frustrated. Okay, you can bite the bullet. You have to bite the bullet. You have to decide in a difficult situation. You have to make a decision in a difficult situation in which you've been putting off or hesitating. Teachers always stick to their guns. It means they always stick to their opinions and never compromise, regardless, despite criticism. They never change their opinion. Okay, and yes, we have these ones. Okay, so we have come to the end of this beautiful and wonderful presentation. So thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. So stay home, stay safe, use your masks whenever you can. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a nice day. Goodbye.